This is the first racing event of its kind in Washington, D.C.'s history, happening as part of our great celebration of the 250th anniversary of American freedom. The Penske team held more than 80 meetings in 90 days on Capitol Hill to get this event to happen. This is over a period of years, and nothing happened. And when they came to see, they said when they came to see the president, what did we work it out in about 15 minutes? It was done. And we picked a better track.
So this is new video of warm-ups this morning showing Corvettes on the track, and it's all part of the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. And soon, Indy cars will be roaring down the streets of our nation's capital. The track will have drivers speeding past history along the National Mall. This is a two-day event. It kicks off tomorrow, and it's all part of America's 250th birthday celebrations. And the race itself is also historic, marking the first auto race ever held on the streets of Washington, D.C. And our own Brian Todd got access to walk the track and see it up close.
And Brian's joining us right now. Brian, the big question, how are these cars going to maneuver the very tight turns in the streets of Washington, D.C.?
It's going to be difficult for them, Wolf. In some of these really tight turns, sometimes three cars at a time are going to be navigating very tight turns in this race. It's going to be extraordinary to watch. It is exciting. Now, a lot of people are getting jacked up for this race now in the city. There are a lot of people in the city who are upset by it because of the traffic and the road closures and all that. I'll get to that in a moment. But the more you talk to people along the track yesterday, people who have tickets and even those who don't, people are getting jacked up for this race. Here's an AI-generated animation of what some of this could look like. There are the suites there, racing alongside Pennsylvania Avenue in the Capitol. Well, this is just going to be a real spectacle for the next couple of days. Here are some of the dimensions that we can tell you about. It's a 1.7-mile track, a little less than 1.7 miles. 7 turns, and again, these turns are very tight along this very tight track, and I'm going to show you the track in just a second. They're going to go 147 laps to reach 250 total miles, 250 to commemorate the birthday of the nation here. And let's go back to some of these figures here. Top speeds of 175 to 185 miles an hour, and let's show you where that's going to take place. This is the map of the course here. This is where it's going to be going. The cars are going to be going at a top speed of about 185 miles an hour along Pennsylvania Avenue. That's where they're going to be going the fastest here. Pennsylvania Avenue was crucial because they had to have it wide enough for a pit lane, and that's the one place where they can put the pit lane. But here are the rest of the turns. 7 turns total, 1.7 miles along this route. And again, it's just going to be spectacular views of the monuments, of the museums, all along this route. Now, what we can tell you is also that what's interesting is Thomas Jefferson, according to the race organizer Bud Denker, Thomas Jefferson, when he was president, he had a horse race in this area, and Denker was very proud of the fact that they're back here 225 years later with more horsepower, he says, along this route. Now, it has been a hassle in D.C. to get this ready. The preparation and the road closures actually started in late July, and again, road closures all over the place. The main drags of Constitution Avenue, Independence Avenue in the district closed down now for close to a month. Again, the construction started in late July, and they're not going to be able to actually open the roads up normally until early to mid-September. So it could be almost a 2-month-long series of road closures and construction here. This is just part of so many different events and projects for the 250th anniversary of the country. President Trump, of course, is heavily involved in all of these. You've got the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool. That's been a mess pretty much from the start. Court cases and everything tied to that. The Triumphal Arch, construction of that across the river in Arlington has not started yet. You've got the Garden of Heroes that the president is proposing in West Potomac Park, Lafayette Square Park with new sidewalks and fences. The Kennedy Center, that again tied up in court with the president's name being contested there. You've got public golf courses, the Walk of Fame, of course, the White House ballroom down here. Again, that's been very controversial and tied up in various court cases. The Rose Garden has already been completed. The Oval Office with its gilded trimmings there has been completed. And of course, they're building a White House helipad. So all of these projects are just really dominating the landscape here in D.C. this summer, and this historic race is going to be part of that. So, guys, it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. The weather's going to be a factor. They're going to have the time trials tomorrow for pole position. It's going to be some rain tomorrow. Sunday, it's going to be sunny for the main race at 1 o'clock on Sunday. So we're going to see how all this plays out. It's going to be very exciting.
Very exciting indeed, Brian. How much is this Indy race going to cost, and can fans like you and me actually go see it for free?
$35 million is the price tag for this thing, mostly paid for by Penske and by IndyCar. People can go see it at different places. There were 100,000 tickets, free tickets for people. You had to sign up and try to get those, and those have already been given out. 100,000 each day, so they're going to be more than 100,000 people with tickets, free tickets, at different venues each day. So we're going to see just how crowded this is going to make it. But there are other places along the route where if you don't have a ticket, you could get a glimpse of it. And what we can tell you also, the suites are very interesting. There are a set of suites near the starting and finish line there. Each of those suites costs $200,000 to $250,000. So if you're a high roller and you got a suite, that's going to cost you. The tickets, $100,000 each day, are free. They've been given out already. Again, there are places that you can go, but you're going to have to kind of carefully navigate. They're telling people, don't try to drive down there over the next 2 days. Take the metro or walk if you can. It's going to be tough to navigate down there, but once you're down there, you can probably navigate to a place where you can see it.
How do Americans feel about all these building projects that the president talks about a lot? With us now, Chief Data Analyst Harry Enten. It turns out there are some numbers on this.
Yeah, it turns out there's some numbers on this. Look, we got wannabe IMP over here trying to build up all of this stuff going on here in the federal debt. Adios, amigos, goodbye, see you later, north of $40 trillion. And Americans are pissed off. They're pissed off, and it's pretty clear here. Net satisfaction of Trump's D.C. building projects. Look at this, 33 points underwater. You can't really get worse than that. That is, the dissatisfaction is 33 points higher than the satisfaction rating there. How about among independents? You think that 33 points is low? How about this? Into the Potomac River we go, minus 52 points with independents. Americans want no part of these D.C. renovation building projects that Trump seems to be absolutely in adoration of. He seems to be, perhaps, the only one.
And this group, independents, do you think they'll be pretty important in the midterm
elections? Yeah, you know what, it
elections?
turns out, we've spoken about this, Johnny B. Independents seem to be pretty gosh darn important because they're in the center of the electorate. You win independents, you win elections, you're 52 points underwater with independents. You think those congressional Republicans like Trump talking about these D.C. building projects? Absolutely not, because these are the types of numbers that make election nights go very, very wrong.
So if you ask people where they want the focus, what do they say?
Yeah, okay, so why don't we just ask them, right? It's one thing not to like something, but it's another thing to say, you know what, wannabe IMP or Frank Gehry, you're focusing too much on it. All right, Trump administration is focusing too much on the D.C. building changes. 64%, nearly 2 in 3 say that the Trump administration is simply focusing too much on these reconstruction projects. You know where they want the focus to be? They want it to actually be on the reasons that Donald Trump got reelected to a second term. That is lowering prices. But guess what they say? They say the Trump administration is focusing too little on lowering prices. 78%. We're talking 4 in 5. About 4 in 5 Americans say that the Trump administration is focusing too little on the reason that Donald Trump got reelected to a second term. No wonder that Donald Trump has historically high disapproval ratings on inflation, historically low approval ratings on inflation, and the only one ever to cross the minus 50-point net approval rating barrier on inflation, Donald John Trump, because they think he's not even focusing on the reason why he got reelected.
What do they think about where the money is being spent?
Yeah, I think this gets exactly at Johnny B. You know what? I didn't feel like we spoke about this enough yesterday. Say most government spending is wasteful and inefficient. You know what? That number is always high, but now it's way, way high, historically high. Look at the 75% earlier this year compared to just 57% a little bit over a year ago. That number is going higher, and no wonder it is when they feel like the Trump administration, and Donald Trump in particular, is focusing on the wrong things and spending the money that, simply put, is making the debt grow ever higher.
And it's Donald Trump, the president of the United States, the one out showing reporters the driveway, and Democrats may very well be saying, keep showing us the grand driveway.
Thank you for this beautiful gift you've given us.
Harry Enten, thank you.